There is a huge range of opportunities out there. It's an incredibly exciting world. But the world doesn't owe you a living, and nor, except in limited circumstances, do taxpayers. But the world doesn't owe you a living, and nor, except in limited circumstances, do taxpayers. But the world doesn't owe you a living, and nor, except in limited circumstances, do taxpayers.
Now, I completely agree with Mr. Luxon here. The world doesn't owe anyone a living. That is why it would be very weird if someone in a position of power gave the impression that the world did owe them a living. Like if a leader was to take taxpayer-funded terreo lessons after he has specifically criticised that use of public funds for other people, that would be weird. Or if a leader or his wife was to use the clean car discount to get over $8,000 off the purchase of a brand new Tesla after criticising that exact same policy and calling it a ute tax, saying it only benefited wealthy Tesla owners. It would also be very weird if a leader were to say that what can only be described as luxurious for most people, Premier House, was not habitable, which meant that you would have to stay in your own mortgage-free apartment, and then you would proceed to claim $52,000 per year off the taxpayer for the privilege until you suddenly had a change of heart after a massive public backlash. Now that'd be weird. Now I tell you what would also seem very odd if you then moved into Premier House, but only after it had a very expensive taxpayer-funded refit. And all of that as the rest of the country struggles to put food on their tables. What would also be unusual would be if you had your beehive office refurbished to the tune of $57,000 when the rest of New Zealand was going through a cost of living crisis. What could also be regarded as a little bit out of the ordinary would be if you changed the rules regarding the bright line test and then you sold your apartment and benefited from them very changes of the bright line test to the tune of many tens of thousands of dollars. The Prime Minister's salary is $510,300, and that's not including any additional allowances that some Prime Ministers would probably claim. But obviously not this one. He's not that type of person. He is selfless to a fault and would not want taxpayers to fund his luxury lifestyle, that's apparent. He understands that the New Zealand taxpayers don't owe him a living. And before I go, I would just like to talk about the rates relief that it appears that Luxon has just claimed on his luxury Waiheke property. Now it appears that that property was valued at $10.5 million, but they have had the council drop that valuation to $7 million, which will save the Luxons $8,100 per year on their rates bill. Now I don't know, but if I was the Prime Minister, I would probably not have done this because it's a terrible look. That $8,000 he has just saved is $8,000 less in the community that could have been used to help people in need, who knows? But I suppose they'll just have to go without now. So yes guys, if I've missed anything then please put it in the comments so others can see it and make their own minds up about the priorities of Mr. Luxon. Did he want to be Prime Minister to make a positive change for all New Zealanders, or did he want to be Prime Minister for his own selfish reasons? Who knows? So thanks for watching guys, and remember, the world doesn't owe you a living. Cheers for that.